I will be crossing the boundary of Yellowstone in about 1 mile. It's crazy walking all the way from Mexico to Yellowstone. I want to see Old Faithful, and I know people are like, oh, it's so touristy, but I don't care. I get excited about stuff like that, and I've been wanting to see that since I was a little girl. And then I get to cross into Idaho, so it's like an exciting few days going on right now. And then after that, it'll just be, regular old trail. But crossing in and out of the Idaho-Montana border. And then Montana will finally stick, and Canada. I think I have an ingrown toenail, and I think it's getting infected. And it actually looks like my right toenail is starting to do the same thing. So the next point of some kind of civilization is Yellowstone, Grant Village in Yellowstone. So from there, I'm hoping I can hitch somewhere to go ahead and have that taken care of. And I've been messaging with my mom on the in-reach day because I don't have service, and you know how doctors are, sometimes it takes a while to get in. So I'm trying to make this as seamless as possible. I just can't spend too much time waiting because the snow is gonna come, and I really don't want it to be falling as I'm crossing into Canada, or fall so much that it's dangerous to do so. And I'm starting to feel that race with winter coming on. But I reckon if they can't get me in a reasonable amount of time, then I'll just have to perform a self-amputation on trail and rub some dirt on it and take a shot of whiskey.
Someone like to get water without their bear spray.
Where's your bear spray?
It's on the ground right there.
What if there was a bear running down the creek?
I would have just died, I guess.
Alright, this is Aaron trying to ring a pole that's way up high and not knock himself out in the process.
So do you think an underhand would be more effective, or?
I think so.
Or basketball?
I don't know. Oh, you got it. Look out.
Oh, wait.
Yay. Oh, no. Oh, no. We can work with that, though. We can work with that. Yay, first try, like a pro.
And keep going.
It got to hurting so bad, and I just barely touched the edge of it with tweezers, and that nastiness came out. I'm hoping it's gonna help relieve some pressure though. Today is the day that I go into Grant Village, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. So I heard that there are some clinics in Yellowstone. Don't know if there's one in Grant Village. Don't know if the people of Yellowstone National Park will give me a ride to wherever there is one. I think it would be good for me to go ahead and get my hands on some antibiotics, because I'm afraid I'll get to the podiatrist on Monday and they'll be like, oh, well, we need you to be on antibiotics for a day or two before we, cut this out. So I just want to make this as efficient, and I want it to take as little time as possible. Isn't this pretty? And also, this looks like prime bear real estate. These are the areas around water with a bunch of willows that I holler out and make my presence known. That way when I walk down in there, I'm not startling a bear who in turn, startles me or worse. There's Aaron. He likes long walks on the lake.
Really long walk.
Yeah. So we're sitting here trying to enjoy some hot springs, and Aaron just rolled up, you know, gonna soak his feet, and oh, there's a thunderstorm trying to join in. Like, really? Well, that cleaned them pretty good, but they still look gnarly. If it wasn't thundering, I might have just sat in there through the rain, but ow. And now it is hailing.
Let's try and get a shot
Of me?
of it hailing on you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting one of it hailing on you. I'm trying to get it hitting your I should do it slow-mo, like. We have already been passing some thermal areas. But if I'm not crazy, does this one feel warmer to you? Like the ground and...
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can you feel it? Isn't that crazy? It's kind of nice after getting hailed on. But yeah, it's like the whole... And it smells more like sulfuric ground and water here. Some rotten egg land. Aaron is defrosting his leg.
It's nice.
Yeah. Opening your pores.
Yeah, my pores were so closed for so long.
Now that is just cool. Like the water is literally boiling up out of the earth. After going back and forth in my mind about what I should do as far as when I get to Grant Village, I think I'm just gonna go ahead into a town and try to go to either an urgent care or ER. And I just feel like with how puffy they're getting and pus coming out, I probably need to be on some antibiotics. So that wouldn't be a bad thing to carry in the future. And getting rained on and hailed on again. Yellowstone is not showing any love. Finally back on trail after 1.5 to 2 days of kind of struggle and strife. When we got to the road the other day, it was still raining on us and sleeting, and it was just cold and miserable, and we couldn't get any cars to stop for about an hour. And even folks we had run into day hiking came out and drove past us, and we were just like, nope, not picking you up. And anyway, finally 2 fellas in a school bus that they've modified to travel in picked us up, took us to Grant Village, and we ended up making it, after a series of hitches, to Lake Village, which has a clinic, with less than an hour to spare. And they took me back at the clinic, and they said, we can land some for you or drain them. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's what I've been doing in my tent at night, and it really hadn't helped that much, but I guess so, you know. So anyway, they drained my toes, and then they gave me some antibiotics. And then yesterday we hung out in the Lake Hotel and the Lake Lodge lobbies, just kind of doing some errands. And so Aaron got the next video edited and uploaded, and you know, all the little things we had to do like that, laundry. And we camped last night, and then this morning we started hitching out after an amazing buffet breakfast. But we started hitching out at about 8:30 and did not get back to the trail until about 10:30. So, and I think the thought process is just, you know, these people are on vacation. They're not familiar with the CDT like, you know, locals in a town that's near the trail. So they just look at us like, I'm not picking up you sketchy hitchhikers with my family in this vehicle. And so it has definitely been most difficult to hitch here in Yellowstone National Park as compared to roads that have had way less traffic. But I do understand. But for the next little while, at least for the foreseeable future, I will be washing my toes several times a day, wrapping them with gauze, trying to keep them clean. I bought an extra pair of socks at the gift shop so I can put on a new pair of socks every day for at least through the next stretch till we get to a town. And you know, I'll just see how it goes, and if they don't get any better, then I'll go to a legit podiatrist somewhere. But if they hold off until I can get to Canada, you know, then that's something I can take care of once I get home. A squirrel is up in that tree throwing pine cones down, and I thought it was a bear over there. Yeah, the only reason I wanted to take my shoes off is so my toes will get dry. Alright. Okay. Just looks dead, like the puffy areas. We're at 1999.7. But although it's been kind of a gloomy, dreary day, I did cross mile 2000 today, and it feels unreal. Well, one, that I have 1,000 left to go, but just that once again I have walked 2,000 miles. Ooh, this little creek here is hot. Can kind of see it bubbling up over there. But I tell you, Yellowstone isn't a terrible place to be when the doctor tells you you need to do a warm soak on your feet. What happened, Aaron? Why is your trekking pole just floating on the lily pads? And why did you break this footbridge? I passed this couple and they were like, there's this guy ahead who slipped and fell. Be careful, that bridge is slippery. And I was like, uh-oh. I know who that is.
Slippery. There could have been another guy.
No, there are no other guys. I'm gonna step onto that, maybe that grass there. I don't know. I wish video had scent, because this smells like rotten boo honey. It's getting pretty steamy. Oh, this is so cool. Wow. Apparently there's a $5,000 fine if you get off the trail here. $5,000 fine and or 6 months in jail. What are you doing? Hey, this trail is on fire. This trail is on fire. Exactly. But not really, it's just steaming a lot. Look at this, it's like, this is not, it's not a wildfire. Look, it's like little volcanoes. I just want to go, like, you know, exfoliate over it. Isn't that what women do? They have these little steam machines and they hold their faces over it.
They'll put you in jail for 6 months.
Yeah, then I won't be able to exfoliate at all. That's so cool. Okay. They're just like hot tubs. Look at it bubbling right there. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they know like to put these signs because this is too much. Like I want to walk right there and look in the hole. Don't you? I'm sorry, I have a wedgie.
It's all part of the journey.
Look at them. Oh gosh, there are a bunch of them. I just saw the two on the rock on the left, but look at the other two looking up. Hey!
Nope.
I am about 3/4 of a mile away from camp, and it's about 1/10 of a mile or so to the turnoff, which I think is like 1/4 of a mile, to a geyser. It's called Lone Star Geyser. So tomorrow morning we'll get to check out that geyser before we roll into Old Faithful Village. At this campsite that I'm about to get to, you can have fires. So I think I'm gonna build a fire, and getting pretty low on fuel. They did not have any in Grant Village that I noticed, or Lake Village. So that way I can boil some water and soak my toes in some soapy water, because I'm supposed to try to do that like 2 to 3 times a day. Tough starting a fire with damp kindling, but I'm doing it. We rushed out of camp so fast to make it here to see this that didn't eat breakfast. So this morning at the geyser, I'm having Fruit Loops with powdered milk and water. It's about 5 till 9, and we're still waiting. It's like waiting on paint to dry. I'm gonna start saying that now. Like when you're bored, you know, I'm gonna be like, waiting on a geyser to erupt. Squirrels are going crazy.
Oh. Oh!
Yay! Oh my gosh! There she goes. It's like all these people are like willing it to be. Yay! Hey! Oh, that bird. Oh man. Getting to see Old Faithful was something I had wanted to do since I was a little girl. And, you know, honestly, the Lone Star Geyser was a little bit more impressive, at least in duration, but, you know, both were really neat, and it was kind of cool at Old Faithful just how into it the crowd got. You know, there were so many people that gathered up there to watch it together, and then I don't know, just kind of went on about their separate ways. But just the excitement of before it started, that was a pretty neat experience. Then as we were leaving the park, there was a little walkway, and on the pathway there were other geysers and springs and pools, and it was just non-stop. But I never got sick of seeing them. It is by far my favorite national park that I have backpacked in. I don't know, it was just incredible. And at one point I even told Aaron, this is cooler than space. Well, it's my last morning in Wyoming, and I am so excited to get to the Idaho border. I know that there are some fire closures waiting for me in Idaho and probably on into Montana, but I'm not gonna think about that today. Like Scarlett O'Hara says, I'll think about that tomorrow, because after all, tomorrow is another day. And I'm just gonna enjoy reaching this next goal of the state line and think happy thoughts about Idaho, and just hope that it's as good to us as Wyoming has been.